Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So SPY is slightly negative, and the Nasdaq is also negative. Dow is positive, and oil is under pressure due to so many lockdowns again and the pandemic. And let's see that how does it work on the stock. And given it's a very slight negative. There's not many stocks are gapping up, and there are not many stocks which are gapping down as well. So my criteria, I don't have any gapping down. Gapping up are we I have six stocks which are gapping up. One is Riot, OCG, and Mavis, Mara, Kane, and MC, and I think most of them are continuation. Just give me a second. I'm gonna be back in 1 minute. Good morning, Andre. Good morning, Luis. So I was saying that Nasdaq and the SPY both are slightly negative, very close to their all-time high. So we do not have that much momentum. In terms of gapping up stocks, there are a few stocks which are gapping up, but all are continuation of Friday. Uh, Again, a kind of a difficult day, but it could be a pullback day for Nasdaq. So if you or SPY, if you look at it, SPY, let me go back to SPY on the daily. So if you look at it, they're consolidating over the highs. So either it's gonna break out today or it's gonna just pull back. But if you look at it, it's consolidating over the highs. And last week we were thinking it's gonna came down because it looks very extended, but it's just pulled back up. There's so much is making a bull flag again on the weekly, uh, and with the high volume, or from the previous day. So look interesting on a weekly chart. It's look like it's breaking out. And if you look at it, Nasdaq is below the yesterday close. Nasdaq is a bit different uh, than the SPY. And if we look at IWM is still need to catch up from all-time high. It's still behind, uh, uh, but overall looks uh, iPhoneX and overall looks gonna be a tricky day again. In terms of a gapping up stocks, I have. If you look at the OCGN, so many people who have traded OCGN in the afternoon got screwed. Um, I also tried to play the pre-market, but it's a choppy action. I just lost $36 here. Now it's trying to move up, um, but it doesn't, really. If you look at the Friday, what happened in the last 30 minutes is just halted and gap down. So if you look at this one here, around 2 o'clock, it's just a big push back down from $12 to 940. It was a halted and there was some news around that. So this is a small cap. It's really tricky to play. You can only expect to, you know, move up either because of the short squeeze or you expecting that the other buyer gonna buy you from more than you have purchased. Uh, if you look at the Mara has make the bottom, which was thinking about that this is a really nice buying place where so many support, so many times it had a support here. So if you look at it, that was we thinking in the last week, and exactly it happened. Now it very close to resistance of $36. Let's see that whether it's gonna break out over the 26 level or is just pushed back down. So we keep an eye and maybe we can play accordingly. It's almost 8% gap up today. So it's a nice momentum today. Um, so even if you look at the 5-minute charts on the pre-market, it's a good wavy volume and it has a nice support. So let's make the support here and another support here. So definitely a Mara, uh, which could be a good choice for us. And we can go either way. Whether it's breakout, we're gonna go long. If it doesn't break out, we can go short. But just we need to look at the price action very closely. It can be a bit tricky, given so much congestion here. Even if you look at Friday, you didn't have a very good, uh, clear move. Other, I have cane. If you look at the cane, it moved from 40 to $10. It had a support in $10. Now it has a potential to run up to the $15 to touch the resistance. And on the weekly, it is still forming a bear flag, but we need to see, clearly it will change the direction if it's this weekend above the $15. So we keep an eye on this on our intraday level. So if you see here on intraday pre-market, it has a resistance over 1430 clear support under 1364. The new support established here in 1380. So if you look at it, every 20 cents, it has a support, making a support. So it's mean that even if you're gonna get a range out of it, we were not going to get the range more than 25 cents. So if you look at it, 1380, and the next resistance is on the $14. If you look at this, so it's looked like 20 cents channel has been making on the cane. So next one I have, let's look at the BNTX. So BNTX is the first day after the extended daily. It is the first day which is a gapping down. So today gonna be a good day to find to find to find a spot where we can short, because more maybe most of the buyers uh, who bought it around 150 or 160, they were thinking, okay, this is the first pullback, they might wanted to add into their position for one more run. So it might have some buying pressure in the beginning. So we'll see, and then we will accordingly trade the stock. And it's spready. Uh, it doesn't give a lot of chances. Sometimes it just move 40, 50 cents in a 1 second, and you get a very bad fill on it. So we need to be careful on the stock. But clearly, if you see here, right now it is less than the $1 range. Uh, so we will keep this into a list as well. If I look at other stock on the, so extended stock, other stocks I have is AD&T. So AD&T is still gapping up today, but if you look at it on the daily, uh, it is extended, but it's not really extended. I mean, because it had so many pullbacks. But definitely, uh, just from January, I wouldn't consider it as leave it. I don't think so. It is an extended stock because so many pullbacks that we has here. I'm looking at it. I'm just going through my scanner to see if you can find any more. Okay, I do not have anything on the extended stock. Let's see the short squeeze. Uh, so Mavis can be a good bet on the short squeeze, but if we look at the pre-market, it is now coming back. So if you look at the daily, if you see here, this one, this on the March 31st, it's got a big candle, and then after that, it was just selling off. So, you know, that was a 50 million shares. But again, it had a short squeeze, and 100 million share was sold last on the Friday, and now is very close to touching this 24 level, which was high in the January. Uh, so let's see if it's pulled back. Maybe we get a continuation. It's the fourth day of the high. We might get a pullback and it fall into an extended. But if you look at it, it's really need to be have a support here. So we'll mark the support, and which support is going to, which was the previous resistance, is going to be now a support area. And if you look at it yesterday on Friday, it basically closed on the resistance, and now gapped up, so it's become a support. So for now, we can, if we make the tail as a support, is 1350 is our new support, and if you look at the body, is the from the 18. And if you look at the pre-market right now, after the market opened, it gapped up here, moved up to $21, came down quickly, consolidated, moved back up, then make the bear flag, move back up, fail again, and now this time it didn't even try. So right now it's clearly losing the steam unless we get some volume. And in terms of Mavis, what is the short float here on this? Let's check it out. It's still the 20% is a short float, so definitely it has a potential to move up as well with the short squeeze. But we'll keep an eye. So under using DFS, let's check it out. So DFS gapped up today. Yeah, it has the 104 is basically a resistance which is just breaking down now, breaking up right now. Very close to, so we can keep an eye. It can be a good run here. If it, yeah, it can be a good run. If you look at it, it's clearly move in the direction. Let's see whether it has any, where the moving average is here. So let me check the, so let's check it out, the moving averages. So it clearly having a nice support over 50 moving averages. Very nice momentum for moving up, not really extended. So yeah, definitely we can keep this for momentum. Yeah, you're right. See, that's the thing. So Mavis may have doubled, but if you look at it, has the volume has increased, and look at this, the 9 moving average, 20 and 50. It is around the 50, 50. But if you look at this volume of 100 million, this is a big volume, right? So now if we go to the short volume is over 145 million shares. So if we just say that uh, half of the short have been recovered here, possibly, right? But still half of the remaining. So if it's go further up, a short might start recovering that, right? Because this data may not be inaccurate because maybe a bit little old, but based on the Finviz, there was 145 million share was short, and s- short seller need at least 2 days to recover their shorts. So if we just assume that the 80% or 70% of the short seller has covered here, look because of the volume, then find that the other half still remaining. And if it just squeeze up this resistance, people short seller might want to recover that. So other stock I have, So I do not have any other stock on my scanner. Um, I was just trying to see other than Mara. Let's look at some of the stocks which are nice on a daily, and those who are, the uh, what you call that, the COVID-19 stocks, and because of again the lockdown, we never know, we might see some momentum. So let's look at the ZM. So if ZM, if you look at the daily, if you look at the first weekly, it's really trying to make a cup and handle, trying to move up, and on a weekly, is making lower lows and higher highs, and it has a resistance of 349, 350. And on the daily, if you look at it, it's keep churning up, right? And the last 3 days was really nice. Now on a daily, we can clearly see this is the resistance on 338 and 340. And if we get some kind of a momentum here, because of the lockdown, I think this can be a good move here. Uh, Look at the next one. We can look at it, the Piton. Piton was moving down from the last few days. On a weekly, it is breaking down, and but it has came back again on the 100 level, which is a very nice support. Every time it comes here, it bounce back. So let's see, let's keep an eye on this, that whether it break 100, and if it's break 100, we might get a big push down, because there's so many people might have their stop losses underneath of that. Because if you look at it, those who have bought here, definitely they are in the losing position. But those who have bought on this area wanted to make a big run, they might have taken some partial, but they still have, and they might have the stop loss under the. Those who have bought on this area, they might overrun, and they are still, they might on the break even right now. So moment it gonna break this level, uh, first they will try to accumulate at this level, but the moment if it doesn't hold this level, it will start triggering the stop losses, and we might get a good momentum here. So maybe in the short term, uh, you know, we can look at this way. And also, if it doesn't come down, it's just with the buying pressure is just moving up, then we can just keep this at 103, 104, where we can get a good run up if it's break out on this level. So both levels we can keep, uh, for us to look at. Let's check it out, Neo and Tesla EV stocks. So if you look at it, uh, Neo, clearly it had a support around this, right? And from that support, it's almost $6 up. Last 4 days, it was moving up. On Thursday, it has over 100 million shares were sold, close to the resistance of 42.38. Maybe if market break out today, if market break up, because if you look at the market is also consolidating over the highs. So everything what we are doing right now is going to be dependent on the market. So if a market breaks out, so for all the stocks which are expecting to break out, they're going to break out too, right? So either we have just discussed that either it may be Mevis or DFS, or the Piton, Neo. If market gonna break out today, all the stocks gonna break out. So it's all dependent on how market gonna react today. If market gonna pulls back, then you will get the pullback in all the stocks. Let's see the SCAH. Sorry, can you hear me now? So I'm saying that the Apple's MSFT, these are all closely linked with the SPY. They have a high weightage. So if you will see that they all have a similar pattern. So if you look at it, MSFT, this is also going to be breakout. You look at the Apple, it's also going to be breakout because it's all related to SPY. If you look at the HD, if you look at the HD, so HD is making all-time highs, right? But if you look at it from last few days, it's making higher lows and lower highs, right? So now we need to see that if it's come below this 322, which is the clear support here, we might see a rundown, but we need to see the SPY also pulling back because this day the SPY pulled down and see the HD also pull back significantly on that day. So we need to see that whether SPY can gonna break up today or break down today or just the pullback. In either way, sometime we will see the clear momentum here because when the SPY is all-time high, you know it may consolidate, right? But it can be at both reaction when people start gonna all the traders gonna start looking at it that spies failed to break up, then may see as a resistance and they may start shorting. So when they start shorting, most of the traders uh, who are long, they might also started taking profit. So this may have a double impact, and you will see uh, you know a big push down. So we can hope for that. Let's see that what comes. But if it doesn't even break up, in both side we can get the good action here. So do you have any other stocks? If not, then we can meet on the Skype at 9:25. So all right then. So we'll see you at 9:25 on Skype. And if you wanna join me, you do not have any address for Phoenix, email to me, and I'm gonna send you the spy Skype invite. All right, guys. Thank you.